Hey there! Welcome to my first Blender tutorial. In this tutorial, I want to show you a basic technique for motion design using GeoNode. I've already prepared the geometry and curve, so let's transfer them to GeoNode and get started. First, you need to clone the geometry along the curve. I'm going to use the Curve Cloner node. It replaces instance on points plus resample. Now let's create a sphere and connect it to the general tree. The sphere needs to be raised a little. Now you need to animate the sphere along the curve. I'm going to use a node along the curve. It replaces the sample curve node. Don't forget to connect the curve. Checking the work. Next, you need to pass the initial position of the sphere so that it creates a field of impact on the instances. To do this, take the proximity node and connect the node here. It will affect the positions. It is currently in polygon mode, but it takes polygons of all geometry. Therefore, we switch to the point mode and now we need to transfer the entire mesh to one single point. I'll use the mesh to point node, but it can be replaced by converting the geometry to instance and then converting instance to a point. Now the node affects all instances, so you need to remap all this data. For this, there is a map range node. This node can be limited in scope, as well as what data it transmits. For more fine-tuning, I'll use the color ramp node. Now you need to duplicate this entire branch, and through the math node you can connect it all into a single set position. Here we set the maximum mode, then it will take the maximum value of 2 nodes. That's enough for this example. Now you need to create a blend for the materials. Blending is created through attributes, so we set the attributes and connect the material. I already have the material created, so I'll use it. Switch the store name attribute to instance mode and connect the data from the map range. Open the shader editor and create a mix shader node. Duplicate the material and call the attribute node. Don't forget that attributes are on instances. Let's check it out. There is mixing, but it is not obvious yet, because the map range in this case does not affect integers and it needs to be corrected a little. Here you can see the numbers, they are less than 1. This can be done through the curve node. And now the idea is this: when the second wave comes, I want this glass to glow even brighter, so let's create another node with attributes. Let's call it emission and drag the data from the second branch into it. Going to the shader. Let's hide the unnecessary material and add attribute for glow. Now let's check when the second wave approaches, it should glow even more strongly. It works, but it doesn't highlight as much as I want, so I can multiply the original values by 2 through the math node. Now I want to show you what to do with my node group and how to replace it. Curve cloner is instance on points plus resample. And now they all need to be aligned on the curve. To do this, I use the normal node and the align Euler to vector node. Node normal should be connected to socket vector instead of socket rotation. Then along and curve are replaced by the sample curve and set position nodes. You need to pass the data to offset. And now this data needs to be transferred to mesh to point. To raise the sphere, you need to use the set position node again. I already have one, so it's not required.